Anything in your kind of looking at the landscape of this over many, many years in Washington, a number of different roles that has you feeling, I guess, optimistic might be a word about the state of retirement plan safety from future budget cuts? It's kind of a link to the first question I asked, but as we look forward, it seems clear that there'll be continuing pressure on the budget, federal budget, and how safe should we all feel with regard to tax deferred savings like 401k?
I think I don't want to come across as cynical here, Tom, but chances that Congress is going to go after a savings vehicle that serves the middle class and for which the vast majority of participants are middle class Americans, people who are working and supporting their family and saving for their future. The chance that Congress is going to go after that are very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
High net worth individuals, people with very high income, 7-figure and 8-figure incomes. Any given day, the configuration of Congress could be such that it goes after their income. Corporate income is also always potentially on the block. But there's very little appetite for going after the big heart of the middle of America and hitting that large cohort with a tax increase. Now, I will say, part of the problem the advocates of higher taxes have is that if you say, well, I'll only go after the rich, guess what? There's only so many of them. And there's actually not enough money there to solve the spending problems. Congress is going to have to deal with spending. But I don't think it's likely that retirement savings plans will be on the chopping block at all in the foreseeable future.
Give us your perspective, if you would, on what's missing with current retirement plans. We talked a little bit about Social Security. We talked about 401ks. Where do you see the gaps from where you sit?
So I think there's two policy issues that are big policy issues that are certainly fairly top of mind when it comes to the retirement policy kind of experts and the members of Congress who tend to focus more on those issues. And that has to do, one, with coverage, and secondly, with adequacy, which can cover both, the amount that they're saving, but also the issues around leakage. So all of that kind of is around lower to moderate income workers, particularly concerns around communities of color, where the retirement savings gap is measurably higher than as compared to white workers. Over half of Black Americans don't have any retirement savings. About 64% of Hispanic Americans don't have any retirement savings. And a lot of that's due to the lack of coverage. When people are covered by a plan, they're 15 times more likely to save because it's coming out of their paycheck, as opposed to on their own in an IRA. So we know it works, and we know that the great plans that you guys provide really work well in the workplace. The problem is getting them in the hands of those workers, right? And also we know that there's some great data that shows that when people are covered, we don't really see racial disparities in savings. Everybody's sort of saving at comparable rates. Obviously, there's going to be differences based on what their incomes are, which is typical, but they're not discrepancies or anomalies based on racial characteristics. So it works. It's racially neutral.